Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. My co-host is Rizk, and today we have Stabbed. How you doing, guys?
What's up, guys? Pretty good. Thanks for having us.
Cool. Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I guess we'll just start with say your names, what you do, and then we'll get right into it.
My name's Sam. I play drums. I'm Mark. I play guitar.
Okay, and you guys got a tape out on Maggot Stomp. It's really brutal stuff, sort of in the vein of Carcass, I would say.
Cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're big fans, so obviously, and we like your stuff. So I guess get into how you wound up doing the cassette on Maggot Stomp, the Flesh by Reptiles.
Like how we came into contact with them, or just like how we.
Well, how the band came about. I guess you recorded as a 3-piece. Now you're a 5-piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so I mean, this is not by any stretch the first band that Mark and I played in together. If anything, I'd say I don't even know. It's probably like the 4th or
something
5th
like
or something like that.
Definitely not the last.
Yeah, it's definitely not the first. Definitely not the last. Yeah, like we've always just kind of been talking about doing a band like this kind of as like a side project. We play together in a band called Blame God, and that's been going since like 2015. Mark joined up like the following year on second guitar, like 2016. So like we kind of just have like a creative process that just like works. So like yeah, we've just been talking about we want to do. It's like a straight up death metal band. I think Undergang was kind of like one of the like jumping off points as far as like bands like we'd want to be influenced by if we were to play something. And then, Mark just kind of came at me one day with I think he had 5 tracks demoed, not even just 4 that are on the tape. He had 5 demoed. We ended up recording 4 at our buddy Eric's studio, Rock and Roll Gas Station, and then the whole thing just kind of came together very easily. Like I think we jammed like once, and then recorded it like the next day.
We jammed like once, Sam and I alone, and then like with our singer Kyle, maybe twice max. And then I want to say like a week later, we just recorded the demo.
Wait, didn't we record it before Kyle? Like before we even had Kyle as a singer?
No, we might have had the instrumentals recorded, but then
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
we jammed with Kyle just so we can get like a feel for it.
Did you know Kyle from other bands that you were in?
No, we were never. Well, Sam was, and I am now, but we've known Kyle for a good long time because he's in a band called Carcosa, and they've been around a while. And we hit him up like, yo, you want to sing for this death metal band we're doing? He's like, yeah, sure. So we've known him for a while. This is the first band that the 3 of us are in together.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we've known each other for a while from like our like Blame God and Carcosa, or Blame God and Deject would like do stuff together.
Yeah, we played a bunch of shows together.
Just from being like similarly like metal adjacent hardcore type stuff. Like we would play like a lot of like those kinds of shows together. And I've also had like another death metal project going with Kyle called Exsanguinated, which it kind of was just like a thing where like me, Kyle, and Andrew would just like jam together, and we didn't really put anything out. But then once me and Mark had Stabbed going, and we brought Kyle into the mix, and then Andrew after that, it kind of not only did it fill out the Stabbed lineup, but we were kind of able to apply the same like process to Exsanguinated, so it kind of ended up forming 2 bands off of one, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I saw on your Instagram that's sort of your next release. You were going to do a split with that. I'm going to butcher the name.
Yeah, it was so like the past like I don't know month we've been recording the split with Exsanguinated, and we're hoping to have it out.
I mean, we're just like kind of still in the middle of recording it. Well, like we're not sure when we're gonna have it out yet.
Someday.
But I mean, like I don't know. I would say in the near future.
whenever we feel like it. At
Yeah,
this point.
yeah, like we literally put it up and we're like, this is coming out whenever we say it is.
And like this split is also like the debut of Exsanguinated because like there's no songs and it's just gonna be like 2 or 3 songs with this split, but it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, like we thought it would actually just be better, just because just because Stabbed has like the Maggot Stomp Association, so like instead of dropping the Exsanguinated demo separately, it's just kind of use the whatever attention is on Stabbed to also put on Exsanguinated, because it's definitely like a different style of death metal. I mean, I don't know. Some people might be able to tell that it's like the same people, but I think it's a completely different vibe. Like Stabbed is definitely like just in like the very straightforward, like brutal style, whereas like Exsanguinated is more on like the atmospheric side of death metal, but there's also just like fight and mosh riffs in there too, which is like I guess it's like an interesting twist on the like more atmospheric side of death metal. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how it's received.
I would say like both bands complement each other very well.
Yeah.
Cool.
And how did Andrew and Lorcan get involved in, after you did the demo? Did the Maggot Stop thing came first, I would assume, and then you picked up those guys?
No, so when Sam, Kyle, and I recorded the demo, like within that like time frame, I think Kyle hit up Andrew. He was like, "Yo, do you want to join Stab?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, because Andrew's in those other
Exsanguinated.
Well, oh yeah, he's in Exsanguinated, but he's in
Carcosa.
Deject and Carcosa along with Kyle. So like, yeah, like they kind of have a history of playing music together, and then me and Mark have that. So like, it kind of just like made sense to combine. And then Lorcan was the last edition. So I play in a band called Bowel Erosion. And Lorcan is the bass player of that band. And so, I mean, we know each other from that, obviously. And then, like, we kind of just, like, dropped the Stabbed demo out of nowhere. Like we didn't, like, hype it up or anything like that. But, like, we kind of just, like, put it on Bandcamp and said, like, here it is. And then, like, literally, like, I want to say within, like, the first hour of it being posted, like, Lorcan just texted me. He was like, yo, like, this Stab shit is like crazy. Like if you need a bass player, like I'm down. And I was just like, that's the most interest anyone has showed in doing it. So like you got it. And like clearly I know what he's capable of because I like play in Bowel Erosion with him as well.
And his nickname is L.I. Beatdown.
Lorcan, L.I. Beatdown. Like first name Lorcan, middle name L.I. Last name Beatdown, or maybe just L.I. Beatdown is the last name.
I've never met someone who loves Beatdown more than this little guy. And I fucking love it. Like, truthfully, I don't care about Beatdown a whole lot, but I love that he loves it.
He makes me want to like Beatdown more. And like, and like I was like, I kind of like it, but like, he makes me love it.
Like we like hardcore like as a standard, but like personally speaking, like I never really cared too much about a Beatdown.
He is specifically into Beatdown. He's like, no, so there's like like there's hardcore, and then there's hardcore Beatdown, and then there's Beatdown without the hardcore. And that's the stuff I fuck with. And then I'm just like, word, okay.
Oh, he's into beatdown without the hardcore. You said beatdown without the hardcore.
Like he has a band called Targeted, which is I would say like I guess his perfect vision of what beatdown should be. And like it's definitely it's on like the more metal influence side of beatdown. So I think that like that's kind of what he's going for. It's like it's almost like Dying Fetus with like if it was all like the groove parts, basically.
Got it.
And I always feel like Metal Archives like shuns stuff like that, and as I was looking at your stuff, I was like, oh, it's interesting that Blame God is not listed there because they must.
I think our guitarist Doug submitted us to Metal Archives, and they were like, "You're too punk," and I was like, "All right." Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't care, but it's just funny. Like I know that there was like a couple. I can't even think of any off the top of my head, but I think there was like a couple bands that it took them like multiple albums to like be accepted on there. But yeah, I guess like I don't know. Blame God always kind of was more of like a hardcore punk leaning like power violence band, but we just happen to like tune really low and like it's like metallic, but like I think everything else about it is more on the punk and hardcore side of things.
It's also kind of hard to like pigeonhole us to like one genre because we like all four of us listen to like so much shit and a lot like we all like the same shit and we all kind of incorporate that in our, especially in our new stuff, we incorporate everything we listen to and it shows. So it's like we can't say oh we're a grindcore band, power violence, whatever.
And that's for Blame God. Like Stabbed is strictly like death metal, like brutal death metal, but yeah, Blame God's kind of all over the place. So, yeah, it's kind of good because we have a band that's like an outlet to be all over the place. So then when we do a band like Sad, we can say like, all right, this is like exactly what we're going to sound like and not bring in any outside influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I got to get more into the genres to figure out the exact difference between grindcore and power violence.
Genres are stupid. Just listen to the music at the end of the day.
Like exactly. I mean,
I agree with that. Yeah, just listen to it, and that's right. That'll tell you, right? Just
I mean, the genres are good as far as like if you want to find like more music that sounds like a certain band. You know, like you could like looking into like certain scenes and like certain bands that came up with other bands and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say just well, like if you don't know genres, I would say take advantage of that ignorance and just listen to like whatever the fuck you can get your hands on.
Well, yeah, but my problem is that I'm old, so and I always listen to heavy stuff, but the idea that Blame God would be hardcore when I grew up at CBGB's is just weird to me. You know, and I've said that in other interviews. Like if Blame God had come and played a show with Gorilla Biscuits and Agnostic Front, it would have been like, that's not hardcore.
Well, we played with Negative Approach, and that's as weird as it can get at this point. But also, we've played much weirder shows. So, like, I love Blame God because, like, we can just play any show and it'll be fine. But it'll be weird, but it'll be fine.
Actually, but one of the last shows we played, it was, like, with no, like, heavy bands at all. It was, like, a bunch of, like, post-punk and, like, goth and, like, electronic bands, and we were we the first band, or maybe I don't know, maybe we were the second band on the show. And funny enough, Fred from Dismember was doing sound for us, so I feel like he probably had no idea that there would be any kind of heavy band playing, and then he saw us play, and he was just like, "Damn, man, like that was fucking crazy."
Like I fucking love Dismember, so the fact he was doing sound that night, I was like, "Let's go."
Is that, I mean, how did you get on that bill if it was all types of whacked out?
So that, we were supposed to do like a 3 or 4 day run with this band Executioner's Mask. And this guy, Jason Duarte, him and one of the dudes from Executioner's Mask, they were like booking the tour. Long story short, some shit happened and then Executioner's Mask dropped off the tour. And then 2 of the shows got canceled, but the Brooklyn show was still on. And they were like, you can still play it if you want. If you not, we understand. But we just said, fuck it, we'll do it because like it's a weird show and why not? And then that's pretty much how that came about.
I'm so glad we did. That was honestly like that was one of the most fun shows we ever played.
Literally, like it was at Market Hotel, and I guess like sometimes they'll have like weirdo like underground raves after like whatever show they have. After our show, there was like two or three separate like raves going on. One in like a small ass room, and then one in like the main venue. And that was probably going until like 6, 7 in the morning. We were there probably till like 3 or 4.
Yeah, but we were all up in there. It was fun.
Yeah, Limelight used to be like that. Like you would go and you would see Obituary, and after Obituary was over, you'd go out of the Limelight, and then like all these dance people were coming in, and you were like, oh, am I missing something? Should I have stayed in there? Like I don't know.
That's exactly how it was.
What it was. Yeah.
Literally, like the second the show ended, and like the people from our show were clearing out, like the people for the event next were pulling in. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then lo and behold, there was like 2 raves going on at once. It was pretty crazy. Like I kind of like that kind of stuff, but not enough to like pay to go to it. As shitty as that sounds, but like it was a cool experience.
I love all that stuff too, like jungle drum and bass. And,
yeah.
Like I just love all kinds of weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Limelight also back in the day was a cool vibe. You know, just being in the cathedral and just seeing all the weird shit and stuff was cool.
Where was that spot?
Limelight was on 23rd Street around there. Was it 21st or 23rd? It was on 6th.
21st, maybe 21st.
Yeah, 23rd is a couple streets up. It was on 6th and 21st.
Cool.
But it's like a mall now. It's very depressing. Fucking awful. I went in there once. I wish I hadn't, because I would have rather just, you know,
kept the memories.
Yeah, I would have rather kept the memories, for real. So you guys, not stabbed, but one of your bands, Sam, did a split with Thetis, right?
Oh yeah. That's Hagenti or Hagenti, however you choose to say it.
Well, good. I'm glad that I didn't say it fucked up, and then I let you say it fucked up. So.
Yeah, you let me mess up my own band name somehow, even though there's no actual way to say it. Like, I'm not gonna stand here and correct someone when they're trying to talk about my unpronounceable band name.
Are you in that band Hagentai?
Yeah.
And then I did a little looking, and the pink mask stuff looked kind of interesting too.
Oh yeah, I mean, those guys are like crazy in like the best way. Like I think I was in Pink Mask for like 2 years, and like yeah, every like tour or like weekend or even just show we did was like always like a party. Those guys are nuts. Actually, funny story, we played at the Clash Bar in Clifton, New Jersey once, and it was right after Jake Heaton from Barbaric passed away. And if you aren't familiar with Barbaric, like look him up. Look up like one of their like Meat Locker sets on YouTube. This guy Jake, he's probably like 400 pounds. He has like a USA like belly rocker tattoo, and he would like just smash like light tubes like over his head and just like eat the broken glass, and like people in the crowd would bleed as well. So kind of as like a tribute to him, Jeremy, the bass player, he had our friend Trevor smash him with fluorescent light tubes as he was playing. And me being the type of person that just doesn't think things through at all, I played the set barefoot. Ooh, because like that's just like I just do that like a lot of the time because I'm like more comfortable that way. And so what ended up happening was I went for like a 16th note double kick roll. I press down my foot on the pedal about as hard as I can, and then I just feel a shard of broken glass just shoot right up into my big toe. And then that was probably there for like 10 days. I like tried to get it out with the tweezer, but it was like too far in. And then I think the next day I literally couldn't walk. Like my foot was like just too swollen. And I kind of have a similar problem on my thumb right now. I was down in Tampa for some wrestling matches last weekend, and a similar thing happened on my thumb. Luckily, it hasn't debilitated my left hand, and I could still play drums and guitar and do whatever it is I got to do on a day-to-day. But it's not the best feeling in the world. But
something about light bulb glass that is bad. That like filament thin glass can fuck you up. It's like worse than regular glass.
Yeah, it is.
I remember like when I was younger, you know like those like the flags that are on springs on fire hydrants. Mm-hmm. Those things were fiberglass. And I remember like I like smacked one for whatever reason. There was like fiberglass on my hand. I was like, wow, this is a stupid decision. I was in like high school too.
Ow. Ugh. Painful. Damn.
So is that band is still together with a different drummer?
Yeah, I believe. Our friend DJ is playing drums, and he's from Jersey as well. Like I was like commuting from here in the island to Jersey for a little bit, and then there was like a period where like the band kind of like went on hiatus because the singer Trevor moved out to the West Coast, and so like they were kind of just like inactive for a while, and then they were trying to get shit back together. I think they're recording like a record at our friend Eric's spot, where the same spot we recorded the Stab demo, and like I just ended up like joining like too many other bands And like between that and work and like wrestling and like just, you know, like my day-to-day like training and whatever the fuck else I gotta do, like it just didn't make sense to be in a band that was in a different state.
Did they make you wear bondage masks, or were you exempt from that?
I mean, they didn't make me do anything, but I did, like, I wasn't gonna like kill their aesthetic either. I think the you know, the gimmick I ended up going with was I had like an executioner's hood and like a noose, and then like I just played in my underwear, which is what I would prefer to be playing in for all my bands anyway, because I am a sweaty motherfucker. So it worked out. You know, it covered all the bases, and I didn't stick out like a sore thumb by just being a normal guy in a bondage themed, you know, grindcore band.
You mentioned the wrestling. What do you do beside and Sid Goat? Do you participate in any of that stuff? Like
Yeah. I'm like I'm a professional wrestler.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So what federation? I'm not too big. I'm just kind of interested. What like?
So right now I am like working with a promotion called VXS, which stands for Violence and Suffering. That was the promotion I worked for down in Tampa. I don't know. You may or may not know it was like just WrestleMania weekend last week. So you know, wherever WrestleMania is, all the like major independents in America, or even some like internationally, but it did not so much this year. They will all, you know, come to like the city or like the general surrounding area where WrestleMania is going down, like run their own shows. So like all the fans that travel in, they kind of capitalize on that, so they can have, you know, really good crowds. And I was pretty much just watching, you know, I mean, I had my matches. I had 2 matches on Friday, and then like I was there from Thursday to like Monday morning, and I was just watching, and you know, I was like in awe of like what all these guys were fucking doing, and then it was cool to get in there and do my shit as well.
Cool.
And you can't get Mark to go in with you? I mean,
everyone says, myself included, he should be a wrestler, but he'll be the first one to tell you he doesn't know shit about wrestling, which is not entirely true, because he's hung out with me for enough time for he knows more than he may think he knows, I guess.
But like, if you put me on the spot, like I won't know anything. Like, if gun to my head, favorite wrestler would just be Stone Cold, because it's like obviously the most famous one. He's just badass.
But that's also like the correct answer.
Yeah, yeah. Like my knowledge of wrestling is not very big, and like I don't know, it's fine.
But yeah, I would just like to plug real quick VXS, Violence and Suffering, because I know that there's a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but there's like a decent crossover of you know, wrestling fans that listen to metal, but they might not be aware of VXS because it's like a pretty new and up and coming promotion. So I would just say, if you're a fan of wrestling in general, if you're a fan of you know, like the like old school ECW, like it's kind of like a similar vibe, and it's a good combination of like established guys that are like on TV, like Brian Cage, who's on AEW now, is on there, like Chris Dickinson, who's like, you know, a standout of like independent wrestling, he's on there. And then there's also like young and up and coming guys like me, and like the guys I trained with, Gabriel Skies is another one. Yeah, if you like wrestling, check out VXS. It's on YouTube, it's on Fight TV, Independent Wrestling TV, you know, wherever you could find independent wrestling. Social media.
I feel like it does come up a lot in our interviews. I think I want to say the dudes from Oxlade are sort of into that, and there was another band. Oh fuck, who was it? Was it Hath? I don't know. What there was. We've talked to a bunch of people who were sort of like doing both those things, and
I know Kane from Vomit Forth is a huge wrestling.
Is it really?
I
was gonna say.
No, he's not actually, but I talked to him like he is, and it's really funny.
I also wouldn't be surprised, because his gimmick is just like it's it's ironic enough that if you told me he likes wrestling, I would believe you.
Oh, I would totally believe you. First off, no, we've talked to Kane, and he's quite a character. So
yeah, I fucking love Kane. He's the man.
Shout out. Shout out Kane fourth.
So then, like, are you guys working on a new record with Stab then now? Is that what you're recording, or is it something else?
It's a split, and then we're gonna write on that for a little while, and then like we're not gonna not write shit, but I guess our focus is right now is just a split. If we write songs in the meantime, that's sick, but like we just want to get the split done and out there.
I would say like the next release is 100% going to be the split with Exsanguinated. I would say an LP is in the future. You know, like I think we have like a couple songs written for that. I mean, I can't really give any kind of like timeline on that, but yeah, I mean, all I could say about an LP is that it's just going to be, you know, crazier and more like venomous and hateful than anything we put out before. Like if we're like for an LP, we're really gonna like dial that in and make some fucking crazy shit.
Literally for the demo, I just sat in my room and listened to the first Undergang album on repeat and just like tried to rip off that because I fucking love Undergang, and wrote that in like a week and a half, brought it to Sam, and then now this one's going to be more like thought out to a degree, but still kind of just have that like raw, pissed off, like what the fuck's going on? Like, why are you trying to kill me kind of music?
Yeah, like we're definitely not going to overthink it. I don't think me and him could be in a band where that like that happens, but like I would say we're just going to make more of a conscious effort to make you know, maybe something a little more like threatening sounding.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
And so are you guys the primary songwriters then, or the other people now that are in the band you write together as a band, or are you the main songwriter?
We are the primary, but like Lorcan brought a song that was like all like him, and like we're just basically playing that as is.
Sam brought a song that's all him too.
Yeah.
So the way our writing process is, it's like I'll like write some shit in my room and send it to like Sam or like now like everybody, and then we'll work on it here at our space, or like Sam and I kind of have like the same thing. We'll write shit in our room, send it to each other. Kyle has riffs here and there, and then like we'll all piece it together. Andrew has a couple riffs, so it's just all very like it's like a mixed bag of how we do shit.
Okay.
But I guess if you want to get technical, Sam and I are kind of like the main songwriters. But like at this point, we kind of just let everyone have their shit.
Yeah, well, like if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And is that going to be on Maggot Stomp? Like, have you thought that far ahead with how it's going to come out?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't thought that far ahead, but like I would love to put out an LP with Maggot Stomp because I mean. Like I don't know. Without Maggot Stomp, I feel like no one would listen to us that wasn't just our friends. So
yeah. It's pretty fucking crazy how much that demo blew up.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm kind of ignorant to it because I'm not the one on like the social media. Like and I'm not on Spotify, so I don't even like see how many like plays our shit has. Like I just all I know is like show up, play blast beats, and leave basically. But yeah, people seem to like it, which is cool. And yeah, I mean, I like it. Everything Maggot Stomp's done for us so far has been A+.
Yeah,
so,
dude, he's been like super fucking supportive. Like, there are people who talk shit on Maggot Stomp because they're like the trendy label, but like fuck that. Like Scott's a good dude. Like if he backs you, like he fucking backs you. He's a great dude. Yeah. I love talking to him.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk shit about them, but maybe
there's also like death metal purists who are just like, oh, you're just getting into death metal because of Megs. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just listen to the band. They're sick. Like, get your head out of your ass. Like, if it's sick, sick.
I mean, like that may be true for some people, but like that's I don't know. I know it's not true for us, so like I don't need to like pretend to hate on a label to show people that I've been listening to death metal for like longer than the amount of time that label's been around. Like. I mean, we're all pretty young, but like I've been into this shit since I was like I don't even know, like fucking 10 or 11 or some shit. So like I'm not really worried about any and any like loser on the internet coming like trying to cred check me, because honestly, if you want to cred check me, talk to me when you have an original pressing of fucking Scum by Napalm Death, because I do.
I think I actually do have one of those.
Oh, you got competition, kid.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it came with the 7-inch, and somebody offered me $50 for it once, and I had to take it. So maybe I don't have it anymore. Anyway, defleshed by reptiles. What the heck does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. well, so I don't know. Like I guess I was kind of like, did I come up with all the song titles and shit on that?
I don't come up like whenever it comes to any band I'm in, I literally just write the music. Like I'm not good with naming any fucking band.
Yeah, I feel so with all the bands I'm in. I always have these kind of like concepts that will like span the whole record. Not to say that it's like a concept album, but by any means, because it's literally like a fucking 11-minute demo.
Yeah.
But usually it's like if we write any amount of songs, like these like conceptual ideas of like what the songs could or should or would be about, like all kind of come to me. And I was just kind of thinking like, like there's like the whole like gore angle of death metal, which I kind of, I wanted to like go down that route a little bit. But I think I was watching Last Feast of the Crocodiles, might be the name of it. It's just like some like nature documentary. From, I think it's from like the 80s or 90s or something. And like I was just thinking about like it'd be fucking brutal like if you got like eaten by a fucking alligator or a crocodile like in a fucking like swamp, like how like I don't think anyone's really like made a song like a death metal song like specifically about that. So it was kind of just like a combination of like, one, it's just like cool, and two, like the originality of it, like oh, like we can kind of have this thing about it that no one else has really touched on before. But like I don't think we're gonna like go down that theme in the future. Like I don't really want to be pigeonholed as like a gimmick, like a fucking alligator band. We did that one shirt just because like I thought it would be like kind of cool and like funny, and like John Mayo, the artist, fucking like killed that design.
Yeah, dude, he's great. He's fucking great.
Yeah, like in the future, we're definitely just gonna explore like just more like straight up like anger and hatred, like as far as like lyrical themes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all those songs on the demo are about different things that can happen to you. Like an alligator fucking you up, like literally.
You're in the wrong part of Florida and an alligator just kills your ass.
Yeah.
It's funny. Our channel is actually named after a crocodile.
Nice.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
It was a big 16-foot crocodile.
Big fucking crocodile.
The big mother trucker right there.
The big brother fucker.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about the art. Do you have an artist lined up for the next CD? Or
no. So I mean, as you could see on the Bandcamp or in the liner notes of the tape, or yeah, I guess it is only the tape that's out right now.
Yeah.
It says album cover photography by Scum, and the photo wasn't taken specifically for the album cover.
It was just a friend of ours took a photo of like this like mangled fucking like rodent or whatever.
Yeah, his cat actually just fucked up a rodent, and he had to clean it up. And I saw the picture, and then I was like, hey man, like, can we like use this for an album cover? And he was like, yeah, man, like go ahead.
Totally wasn't planned.
Yeah, no, because he's our boy. He toured with us when Blame God did like not a full US, but like kind of like a West Coast
dominant, but like we play shows like on the way, so it's primarily a West Coast run.
Yeah, and like he like drove us, like we literally used his van, and like he came to my house, picked all of us up, and like drove us, cross country up and down the West Coast and back.
Probably one of the best experiences I've
Yeah,
had.
he used to play in a band called Night Fear, who's fucking sick. If you guys have, if anyone out there should check him out. You know, if you're into any kind of extreme metal or even like hardcore crossover, like they kind of like check all those boxes a little bit. And Blame God played with them and like toured with them like a bunch.
We go pretty far back with those guys.
Cool. Send the links over. We put all links and stuff in the description. So if you made it this far into the interview and you want to check out some shit, check out the description and we'll put all the links there so you won't have to go looking for anything.
What do we shout out so far? We shouted out Night Fear. We shouted out VXS Wrestling. Is there anything else?
Fuck.
That might be it, but yeah, we'll watch it back. And we'll put that in there.
We always pretty much just like post about our friends' bands, like our social media. So if you follow us, you'll find more shit.
Yeah.
Cool. And any other bands that you've played with that you good stories that you know, people that you like to play with, weird shit that's happened on the road?
I mean, definitely some. Like I can't really, like from a broad aspect, I can't really like just single out one thing, but like if you can get me going on like a certain thing, like something will definitely come up. I just can't like I can't pull one out of thin air like that.
Yeah, me neither. I think like one of the sickest things we've done, 2019, we flew out to Seattle and did a 3-day run in the Pacific Northwest because we got booked on a festival in Vancouver, and we played with Integrity. And that was probably like one of the like best shows like we've ever played, because like we all just love Integrity, and that show is so sick. And like the way that happened on that West Coast tour that we played a year prior, or months prior, I should say. We played at this spot called CBDB's, and then this guy, these two dudes who book in Vancouver, they're like, hey, we're putting this fest together. It's our 5th anniversary, and we would love to have you guys, and you would be playing with Integrity. And it was just like, all right, sign us up right there.
Yeah, like we kind of said yes without figuring out any other details. And yeah, I don't know. There was like probably some scheduling shit with like our singer at the time that like we couldn't work like a full tour out of it. So we literally just like flew out for a weekend.
Well, like that, even though it was like 4 or 5 days that we were out there, like it was a good time.
So being in multiple bands, have any of your bands played together where you're doing double duties for a night?
Well, I feel like I've definitely, not only have I done double duty, I've like I think for like my birthday, I booked a show that like I purposely booked like 4 of my bands like back to back. It was like, fuck, who was it? It was Blame God, obviously. I mean, it was before Stab, so it was Blame God, Hagenty. Was it Hagenty?
Have we played together?
We definitely have, but yeah, I want to say it was like Blame God, Hagenty.
Was it Battle Erosion too? Did Blame God and Battle play? God damn.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's just been like there haven't been shows going on, so like my mind just doesn't even think about that shit anymore. So like I literally could look at old shows we played and be like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah, but anyway, it was like 4 of my bands and Vomit Forth at fucking Lucky 13 in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. It's like I always, it's gonna sound fucking stupid, but like anytime someone asks me like how many bands I'm in, I literally tell them I don't know. Yeah. Because I just like I know I'm always gonna forget one. Plus, it's like, what do you consider a band? Like if I just record some fucking black metal or like industrial shit in my room and like don't put it out, I'm guessing that probably doesn't count as a band. But like I have like a bunch of projects that are like just me.
Yeah.
And then like also just a bunch of bands that even if I rattle all of them off, I'm still gonna forget like 2 or 3.
Cool, that's fucking crazy. But I
think
that after you play four sets in one night, you just want to fucking die as a drummer.
Hey, man,
yeah,
it's good cardio.
I mean, it was good cardio. I mean, I hate doing cardio in general, so I'd rather do it playing drums than, you know, just the real version of it. I do remember, like, I don't remember particularly like feeling physically like any type of way after, but I do remember saying I'm never doing that again after setting that up. So there must have been a reason for that.
One and done.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we're I mean, do you got anything else, Eric, or anything else to plug?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Cool. And you mentioned that maybe the split would be an LP, or it would be
no split's gonna be its own thing, and then like LP, I don't know, next year, 2 years, who fucking knows? We're just gonna write
okay.
it.
So you definitely want to do a full length, but that will not be the split will be its own.
Yeah, two totally different things.
Yeah, I would say like you could probably expect a split in like the first. I would say it's safe to say first half of 2021. I mean, now that I said it, it's probably not going to happen. But
Yeah.
but I would say at the rate we're going, that's like not that's not an unfair assessment.
Well, I think you only got first half of 2021. We only got 2 months left, I think.
We can do it.
Yeah, I mean, like we're not just getting started on
Yeah.
I'll say that
we've had like some of the songs recorded for a while. We just gotta get the vocals down.
Okay, cool. I think we're good. Thank you guys for coming on. The Flesh by Reptiles is fucking awesome. You keep calling it demo, EP, whatever it is. It's fucking really good, and people should check it out. I'm sure if you've made it this far in the interview, you already have and love it. So that's it. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having
us.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Later, everybody.
Yeah, stay brutal.